What's up, everybody? It's been a while. Episode 51 of the Basketballists with my co-host Ralph. What is up? Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a month and some change.
Just about.
Yeah, just about. Since we've been on this, it's just been hectic. For me, end of the school year, training starting to ramp up, so it's just been hard to get time. Obviously, you're full swing, right?
Yeah, baseball's going pretty fast. Series here and there, so going down to the stadium for the most part, getting content, stuff like that, other events. So everything's just piling up, and then still doing AAU on the weekends. So
Oh yeah, that AAU lifestyle.
yeah,
We wanted to catch up. It's been a pretty eventful month and some change.
yeah,
We'll start right away with the fact that our girl Sonia got drafted. To the Washington Mystics.
yeah. Number 3 overall.
Yeah, number
Big
3
time.
overall. Yep, that was huge. The two people that got picked before her were Paige and Malinga.
Yeah.
Something
The
like
Wemby, the one that
yeah,
you
the
dunked.
women version of Wemby, where she's from France,
Mhm.
but of African descent, and supposedly her potential sky high, and she's 19. Like, she's the youngest
I think so.
draftee. I think actually maybe period. I'm not even sure about that, but it was a great experience. We took some flicks. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see her, but we saw her boyfriend, her brother, saw mom and dad. They were at the table. For what we paid for the seats, we wish we had a little bit of a clearer view. But we get it. We wanted to support, and but it was a dope experience. What did you think about that?
Yeah, no, it's my first draft, period. Like in any sport, so it was really good to see. I felt like they ran it actually really really good. When you first walk in, like there's all these different stations of like their partners. Like I think it was like Miel
Yeah,
and another. What was the skincare one or something?
I forgot. Yeah,
But there was a bunch
couple.
of different booths. They had like some food, and then they had like areas to take pictures and stuff like that. So as far as like a fan experience thing, it was pretty cool. And then I've never been over to what they call it,
The Shed.
the Shed.
The Shed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
in Manhattan.
The Shed is actually really nice. It's a cool little venue. It's next to the Vessel, if you're familiar with New York.
It's literally right next
things.
to it.
Yeah, so it's right over there. It's nice. It's bigger than I thought. From the outside, it looks kind of small, but like on the inside, it's actually like pretty big. So yeah, they put that together really well. I was excited to be there to support. I've been rocking with Steve for a minute, and then obviously intertwining paths with Sonia. So really tough to see her go 3. That's big. Like in any sport, like if to go top 5, that's so.
It says something about
Yeah, I
her.
want to give her flowers, all that hard work, all the dedication. So
Yep. Shout out to her.
congratulations.
Yep. Congrats. Shout out to her parents as well. The hours of AAU and, spending time to nurture and let her grow and help her grow. And, they've been nothing but great to me, and they've been very, I check in on them. They shout out to Bill, sometimes checks on me, and real good. It was a dope experience. First note at in the A. Hopefully we'll get a couple more next couple of years.
Yeah, you know who you are. Need to lock in.
Yeah,
who
I need to lock in because I'm not playing around no more. But yeah, no. I think, what were your thoughts on the draft? Other than that, like team wise, we were starting to get even more into the WNBA from like a knowledge standpoint. So, what did you think about the draft overall? Like, who do you kind of like know about in terms of the WNBA?
So like, I mean, Connecticut.
Outside of Liberty and
Right. Connecticut has a team, so like I was keeping up with Connecticut, but I know that they pretty much before the draft, kind of just overhauled all their players. Like Carrington gone, Bonner gone, Thomas
gone.
like so like they kind of just did like
a whole roster.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting for me because that's usually a team that I kind of keep up with. And then growing up, I wouldn't say I was a Minnesota Lynx fan, but like I was more of a Maya Moore fan. So having Maya Moore on the Minnesota Lynx and her being as dominant as she was in a short period of time, that was kind of like my introduction to the W. So it was like Lindsay Whalen, Simone Augustus.
Simone was tough. And
There was Fowles.
Sylvia Fowles.
Sylvia Fowles was their big man. So yeah, so like
Yeah.
that was my team for real.
They
Like
was,
I
there was
always
a dynasty, low key.
always loved those teams, those rosters that they was putting out. So over the years, I've kept up a little bit, but with basketball growing and expanding, it's nice to see the names that we're seeing in college, and then follow them into the WNBA. Because I feel like for a time, and you've talked about it with Dev on the podcast before, and we talked about it in that video that we dropped on Steve's YouTube. You can go check that out. Just basically that the talent kind of like dissipates when it gets to the WNBA because there's no room. So seeing that a new team, the Valkyrie, Golden State Valkyrie, got a chance to draft, and then also knowing that 2 more teams are coming next year with Toronto and Portland. So the sky's the limit for the W, honestly. Like the more talent you could get into the league, the more competitive it'll be, and the more you'll get to put people in seats. And I feel like the Caitlin Clarks and the Angel Reeses and the Sonia Citrons will be able to like expand the game and put people in seats, because these are top tier players playing in a top tier league. So
yeah, for sure. And I agree. It's just like, for me, I was keeping up with it because, you know, honestly, like, this is me going and being vulnerable. Just like before training, I was training girls, but I didn't have anybody serious.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia was the first one. It was like the end of her junior year or mid-junior year. Which was right before, or no, right as COVID was happening.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of met and kind of just it was crazy. I walked into a gym that was hosted by Coach K, and he had a lot of Division I girls, from Fordham to a couple high-level prep girls, and I was just there because I was using the gym to train after they were done, and I was just like, hey, I'm just going to go ask all these girls, like, hey, do you need a trainer? And I literally got like 6, I'll think about it, or I got somebody I train with. Sonia was the only one that says, sure, let's set something up. And that's how, you know, I didn't know anything about her. I just knew she was like 6 foot, 6'1", and watching her play, I was like, yo, I can kind of help try to elevate her game even further than what it is. And find out she was committing to Notre Dame, and then I was like, oh, I gotta really put some effort in terms of like strategic planning with her to kind of help make sure she finds value in what I'm providing her, and then obviously help take her game to another level. So that was kind of the story there. That was dope. But like, again, you know, even before that, me being up north, like connecting with Alex Bizzell, whose wife is Nafisa Collier. I was going to bring up the fact that she's helped bring Minnesota back into prominence. They're projected to win the WNBA championship this year. He connected me with some UConn girls, which was Olivia Nelson-Adota. And then because I worked her out, I made a little post. Her teammate Kristen Williams saw, who I'm a fan of, and I'm rooting for her. Unfortunately, she just got waived from the Lynx. But, you know, she's such a hard worker, and, you know, I believe in her. And I wish, you know, hopefully I can reconnect with her sometime soon to be able to kind of, you know, put some work in with her. But, again, I've just been more engaged with it since that point, invested more, just because, again, it was just I was with it, but now it's at the point where it's like, yo, I'm locked in now. Like, I actually almost prefer it now over than the NBA, because the NBA regular season wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't just as invested in it. Now I feel like the playoffs are here. It's dope, obviously, that with NBA playoffs, but like, I think I'm more vested in like tonight's Sonia's first game. Right. You know, we'll go watch it, and then we're going to her game on Sunday.
I'm rooting for the Sun though.
Speaking of the Sun, all right, I'm gonna transition that. You heard about what's happening with them?
I did.
And so, if you don't know, you know, obviously the time is recording. They are technically looking to relocate, or sell the team. They said this team would be technically on sale. So an owner can buy them and then maybe relocate them. Just your thoughts on the effect of not having a pro team in Connecticut anymore.
Like official.
Yeah, and like official being at Mohegan and stuff. And where would they move to if they?
See, my biggest thing is like, people always like, oh, we don't have a pro team in Connecticut. Like we do. We have the Sun. So like them potentially being relocated sucks, but I understand why. As great as Mohegan is, like the W is expanding, and they need space. If like, to be quite frank, and they need their own facilities and they need their own workout rooms. They just need more things that Mohegan and that area can offer. And Connecticut's not exactly a place where we have the space, I feel like, to do so. I have heard rumblings of Boston.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
And that's like,
it makes sense.
It makes sense, and it is something that, you know what I mean. Like I'm a Celtics fan, so
wow.
Like
anyway,
if my Connecticut
Knicks
son,
in 6. Anyway, sorry.
If my Connecticut son move over to Boston, then I feel like it's only right that I have to. So I don't want them to. I hope there's something that we could do in order to keep them. I don't know who's in charge of stuff like that or who's listening, but if you are, please, I would like the Connecticut Sun to stay in Connecticut. But I do think Mohegan could still be a venue and something for them to use. So even if it's like they're a Boston team, but maybe sometimes they do their games in Mohegan. So to keep that Connecticut feel.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just don't think the facilities, maybe adequate enough to maintain. Like you're seeing like the Liberty getting a whole facility.
Golden
like
State, the new Valkyries are getting their own things. Like so, like with that expense, there's no way you could.
And obviously, the Celtics have a setup already. Maybe they can split that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but they also have the other one too, like the practice one that's like near like the New Balance. thing. So like that's,
or even use the New Balance gym. I don't know. It's there. It's again, it's just like what makes sense and what financially makes sense for the W to be able to accept all this new incoming eyes and fans to the game. They want to make sure, like, all right, we have a good product to put out on the court for these fans. And obviously at the end of the day, we talk about it as a business, right? And again, I think it's still, like we said, we need those other teams coming in. I would like to see maybe one more team after Portland and Toronto, and then see how it goes. I think that would bring the numbers to 16 or 15 teams. I have to double check that. I have to double check that. So. Yeah. But again, if that'd be good, and then you can actually have a solid playoff, right? Like what is it? Was it with the NBA? Is it 8 and 8, 16?
Yeah, 8 and 8.
So
play in 10 and 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, play in. They added that, but like you can. If you get 16 teams in the W, you can technically have everybody make the playoffs, which means more games for everybody, which is what we want, right? We want more games, and then obviously just more competitive, and then figure out the playoff landscape and style. But so rolling into that, we talk about the draft lottery on the NBA side, which was where's my frying pan? We feel like it might have been cooked a little bit,
rigged OD. Like First and foremost, Dallas has the number one pick for the men's and had the number one pick for the WNBA.
Right.
First time since 2003. 2003, the Cleveland Rockers for the WNBA took LaToya, forgot her last name.
Okay.
And then y'all know who Cleveland took in 2003. So are they saying, maybe it's history repeating itself, they saying COOP? I'm just saying. Saying, if history is repeating itself, y'all telling me COOP is the next. I ain't gonna say I know too many people on here gonna be a little mad about that.
They're gonna get crazy with that. No, I mean, what did I say about? Well, I'm going off of his intangibles line up with those of that number 23.
Yeah, I mean,
or number 6. What is he? Number 6. Sorry, he was 23 at the time.
I mean, he's 23 right now. Yeah, but I think I was upset, me personally. I've never rooted for another team more than I rooted for the Nets to get the number 1. So to see them fall to 8 was like damn. Like they had a 9% odd to get the number 1, and they got 8. So it's like that was like really, really bad.
Hold on. I'm pulling up the actual percentage of what the draft order was when I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I forget what was it. Where is it? It said, all right. So 2 things. One, this is how crazy it sounds. I think Gilbert talked. They just did it on All the Smoke, or it was on Gilbert's podcast. I can't remember. He was just saying that, or somebody on the staff of what they were talking about. I guess one of the producers. He was like, Dallas and somebody, I forgot who, had to flip a coin for that last spot.
Oh, the Bulls.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
Dallas won, which put them up.
Yep.
And then, what were the odds of that? That makes it even crazier.
It does make it even crazy. And then if you think about why the Bulls and Dallas had the same record, is because that one game that they won versus the Lakers when they hit a half-court shot, when Giddey hit a half-court shot. So it's like, it really is probability and it's all chance, but it's like, it really is crazy when you sit back. You're like, yo, just a month ago, Nico Harrison, they was asking for bro head. Now it's, oh, we got the number 1 pick. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they still wanted that, but
no, they do.
Now,
but
now
like,
you got something to look forward to.
Like,
do you think it's got to be cooked? Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't. Dallas is a prominent city in the NBA.
I mean, it is, but like, I didn't think so, bro. And then San Antonio's up there too. So that's the part that's like,
and then Philly.
Bro,
so like
all 3 teams that I was like, nah,
3
no
teams
way.
that should have been in the playoffs technically. Could have been. So look,
and then the 2 teams with the worst record had 5 and 6.
Like that doesn't make sense to me.
What is going on? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want. First of all, Utah. I see your scheme. I know what y'all doing. Y'all was trying to make it look like y'all wanted it this year, but y'all really going for next year for AJ since he's already gonna be in Utah. Y'all not slick. It's tampering. I'm calling y'all out. But
want our money to keep us quiet.
Right. But Toronto. I mean, I ain't want to see him in Toronto anyways, or the Wizards anyways. I ain't want to see him in Washington anyways.
I think nobody wanted that for him.
But it's like, it's super weird to see that like the worst teams
like that,
just made the top 5.
A Dallas jersey wouldn't have looked crazy on him. A Philly jersey wouldn't have looked crazy on him. San Antonio, it wouldn't have looked bad on him either. But if you looked at him in a Wizards jersey, or what was the other team?
Charlotte.
Oh no, we wasn't doing all that.
The only jersey he looked good in was a Brooklyn jersey.
But here, the odds of the top 3 order that was drawn, which was Dallas, San Antonio, Philadelphia, in that order, the percentages of that happening was 0.0114% chance. Like, is that do you have a higher chance of winning the actual lottery? Like, I don't know what that.
You might. You actually might.
Like, what?
Yeah,
like, that's actually insane.
I don't know. Like, obviously for us, we don't really see all the inner workings, but the draft lottery, I thought was, I would say the most exciting it's been for a little minute, because like, not just because of COOP, but like this is
a talented group.
Yeah, it's a talented draft. It's a talented group. So you really do want to land in a good spot. Like, obviously, top 15 is great, but if you're in a position to get a top 5 and then have some later picks, I think that's like really good. I don't think, it sounds crazy, I don't think any of the teams that have 1, 2, or 3 would trade for someone like a Giannis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because, like, I don't think it makes sense. However, I mean, if they were to, I guess I'd just be shocked. But I think Dallas, there's no way Dallas could trade away the first. That's what I think.
Okay.
There's no way.
So hear me out with this great. Just talking just made me think of this. I didn't even think about it. Right? The 3rd pick, right? Philly.
I don't think they need that.
You don't think if Giannis wants to stay on the East and then stay in a contender, you trade the number 3 pick, Paul George, for Giannis?
I don't think nobody want Paul George do what we do. He podcasting. I don't think nobody want Paul George right now.
Or you throw in Jared McCain. Like, you can get pieces.
I hear you.
To get a Giannis on that team, because Joel's hurt. Like, you get Giannis, him, Maxey.
That's okay.
No, I'm just. It was just.
I hear you. I hear you. And I've been thinking about it too. No trades. Picks 1, 2, and 3. Who you drafting?
You gotta take COOP.
Right.
Spurs, I think Ace. It would have been, for me, if I was a GM for the Spurs, I'm taking Ace. Even though the rumor is they're saying Dillon's the number 2. Dillon's their guy. They're gonna figure out how to play Fox, Castle and him together. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll see. And then 3 would be with Philly. I mean, that's even difficult too with Jared McCain and Maxey and Dylan Harper. So Dylan Harper's a top 3 talent in this draft. It's hard to find a team for him, you know.
In my eyes, and it's gonna sound crazy, I'd go Coop, Ace, but then I'd go Malawach, the
big man,
the big from Duke,
for Philly.
Because you think about it this way, if you get a center that could catch lobs and block shots, I don't know I have a center there, but like he's actually, I think he could be better than them. And you move Joel to the 4. He has less responsibility
too.
That would be, but they don't need that at 3.
They don't need that.
They don't need that at 3. No. But if they weren't trading it, I mean, I don't understand why they would go for Ace if he's available. I know he's probably going to be the best available on the board, but like
for Philly, right?
That doesn't fit their team.
It doesn't. I like the fact that I was talking about this in our group chat, and Jordan and you were like, like I like the fact that if you draft Ace at 3, you have Paul George to kind of mentor him. I still think having a good solid vet for a talented
as much as we clown on Paul George, it's not the fact that he can't mentor Ace. It's the fact that they already have pieces in there that could be mentored, and it's like they're not doing anything with it. So Paul George is kind of just taking up their shine, their time. But like when he went down, Justin Edwards had a really good like second half of the season, like a really good stretch. Like he was kind of coming into his own. But then you look at next season when he comes back, it's like, oh, now you got to back up again, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like you could be the vet, but like if the vet is taken away from somebody progressing, then we might be at a crossroads.
How old is Paul George?
I think he's probably like 32.
32. He's my age. I'm old.
Shut up!
Every episode,
bro. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Nah, he old. He 30. He older than me. He 35.
Oh look,
he just turned 35. I'm 33.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll still give him a bucket.
No,
nice.
Never that.
I'll give everybody a bucket. Hey, if you see this, you want to play me, I'm open for it. I give buckets.
No.
Anyway,
yeah, but since we're on the NBA and we're talking Paul George and injuries. In the game the other day, Jason Tatum goes down with a torn Achilles, and honestly, almost like completely sucks the life out of the series. Like it was like very abrupt. I think everyone knew what it was as soon as he went down.
Yo, it's crazy how I opened up when I saw the injury. I opened up Twitter and like I kid you not, like somehow, some way, four doctors on X showed up on my timeline, and they all said the same thing. It's not looking good. We hope it's not true, but that looked like an Achilles rupture. Yeah. Each one said that. So I'm like, damn. If 4 different doctors see the same thing.
The NFL, so the NFL, if you watch it closely this year and last year, like there was a lot of those similar injuries where they're planting and trying to push off, and then you just see like the ripple flick, go up their calf, up to their.
It makes me shake.
To the. Oh man! As soon as I seen he was trying to push off and he went like that, I'm like, yeah, he's done.
Actually, no funny stuff, but like literally my last couple, it started I've had some Achilles issues. Mm-hmm. It really started in 2016 when I wore these Kobe's, the low tops. I can't remember which Kobe's they were, but I had to once I stopped wearing them, my Achilles started feeling better. And then now more recently, it's like obviously I'm a little older when I play. Like I'm like, it's not that I'm afraid to play. I'm afraid to get hurt. Uh-huh. But I feel like my knees, I'm like, all right, my knees are achy. All right, let me make sure I do some protocols. And like recently it's been like tightness in my like heel Achilles area. Now I'm like, after seeing that, like I'm like, should I even play with these kids? Should I guard them?
You might need to get a little heel insole. I remember I had one because they were saying that it was susceptible. Like I was close if I kept going and like having that wear and tear. Because I think I had sprained my ankle.
Okay.
And then I was on like a light air cast, no boot, but they were like, because you sprained your ankle, like you're putting a lot of pressure on your Achilles and it's very tight. So they gave me like a heel insert in order to like lift up my foot in order to take that pressure off. So there are preventable measures and there's things that you can do in order to what's it called? But like throughout the NBA, like we've seen it. Like DeJounte Murray, torn right Achilles, Kyrie ACL, Damian Lillard Achilles. Tatum, Isaiah Jackson, Achilles, Grant Williams. So it's like we keep seeing the same injury, and like it's sad and it's tough to see, but it's also education for you. Like it's a preventive measure. Like ball players, like we got to take care of our bodies. Like it's not just they're on the bench, they're playing 82 games, whatever. No, I go play pickup tomorrow, tear my Achilles. A friend of mine ruptured his like patella tendon or something like that. Had surgery on his birthday. Like, bro, you got to take care of your body. Yes. Like, it's not just like, we're telling you and the old heads or something. Like, nah, like it's actually very important because you're gonna get to a certain point where your muscles and your bones not moving the same. So you got to be able to protect yourself. Like, really take that time to stretch. Take that time to not only stretch but to strengthen as well. So. There's multiple programs that Steve has access to, that everybody has access to. But if you don't know, ask because that could be the difference between you getting hurt and you getting hurt and being out for the season, or you getting hurt and being out only a week or two.
Yeah, like again, those are freak. Some of them are freak accidents. You can't do anything about it. But again, there are a lot of preventative ways or not preventative ways. Let's take that word out. It's more of strengthening. Yeah. The stronger you are, the stronger your body is, the less likely an injury is to
That's still prevention in some sort. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're trying to prevent
exactly.
a outcome.
So again, like, I'll give my guy a shout out. I don't know him personally, but I did talk to him before the season, which is Mike G. If you don't know who that is, GBG Hoops. He's worked with Jalen Green. His main guy right now has been Fred VanVleet. He's been with AD. Mike James from overseas. If you guys don't know Mike James, he's helped Mike James a lot physically. We're talking about physical stuff. And he does a lot of unorthodox things. He does a lot of barefoot things. Not unorthodox, just he was really ahead of the curve back in like 2002, 2001. And now everything's major. Everybody's talking about, isometric holds barefoot, different kind of loaded positions, being able to hold a certain position for a certain amount of time with load and stretching. Like, he does a lot of good things. I have his app. It's $30 a month. You got different programs. He's got protocols for it. He's got the Achilles protocol. He's got the knee protocol. All of those things, hips, like everything. Like I haven't done it in a while, and I'm probably about to get back into it since the school season's over. I'll have more time for myself. But just preventative ways to strengthen the feet, your ankles, knees, hips, just the important joints in our body that can help prevent catastrophic things such as
Shout out our girl Jess too.
Jess, yes,
doing her thing down in Florida.
Yeah, she just moved to Florida. And she's working with a very well-known performance training company, and she was working with
Unrivaled.
She was with Unrivaled.
She was with Lonnie Walker.
She did a lot of pre-draft workouts. I saw her working out John P. from Yale, and she's progressing. It's crazy. Like, if you guys don't know, you definitely go give her a follow. I met her with my boy Dev, probably at the beginning of the Basketballists, which was like 2022, 22 probably. And she was one of our first interviews, if you scroll all the way down. And again, to see her go from, in a gym working with somebody, like she was just a trainer, to taking a huge risk, opened up her own spot, to then moving to another gym location and partnering up with a bigger name basketball trainer, to now moving down to Florida. She was in the DMV area, saying there's so many good athletes there, which is very difficult because there's so many high quality people there.
Yeah.
Obviously same down in Miami. Miami's a hotbed for off season stuff, trainers, athletes in general, you know. But again, just wanted to shout her out. She does a lot of great things. She's very similar to Mike G, where she does a lot of those, isometric holds, rotational strength, things like that. I know a little bit about this stuff, but I am not a pro. I'm a pro at skill development and execution there. Those two are very much so pros at what they do, and no matter what program you do, and if you have to stick to it for a couple months to really get some results. But yeah, sorry, giving you two flowers, but definitely, obviously, the Jason Tatum thing is very important, and technically, it's a shift in the series. The Game 6 tonight, but they won Game 5 without him. Maybe it was just a little rah, like, we gotta win for our fallen brother.
They was doing that the whole series. They just didn't close out any games. Honestly.
Yeah, this shouldn't have been a series.
Like
anyway.
the only game that really truly was like, okay, like they like, I don't want to say lost this game, but like it didn't look like they came to play was that game where he got injured, honestly, because he had 42 points in 40 minutes, and they were down 9. So he was doing everything he could, and it wasn't enough. But
oh yeah, they can bring it. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like, that's just how it goes sometimes, and now we're in a situation where it's 3-2. So
yeah,
I think gotta go win.
I think this is also a teaching point for the younger athletes. Like this weekend's the live period. When this drops, you guys will have been through the weekend, but the importance of like proper warm up, proper nutrition. You know, I'm not saying he didn't do that, but it's just, again, it just brings it up to another. Like I've interviewed like registered dietitians and nutritionists, and they all say the same thing. What you fuel your body with makes a world of a difference on top of proper, performance training. Like that's at that level, it's also almost more important than the skills part.
Yeah.
Because you're playing so many games, and now we have kids. Obviously, this weekend we have at South Kent, we have a lot of our guys playing the live period, 4 or 5 games in 3 days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So like, you gotta really. It sucks. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a vacation. Like, you got tournaments in Alabama, Memphis, Indianapolis, Iowa. West Coast, down to Texas. Like, there's just so many places people travel. So you got to take travel into consideration.
Yeah.
Your sleep is a little messed up. You're going to probably want to eat McDonald's or some junk food at the airport or whatever.
It's easy. It's probably easy. 3 a.m.
Yeah, or even it's early in the morning. Like, all right, let's just grab like Dunkin' Donuts, get a bacon, egg, and cheese or whatever or whatever it is, and get a donut, like, right, like, and then you land, then you may have a game that night, and you lack of sleep or whatever. Like, games start today, like, Friday, and so the bigger teams that have more funding, which we can kind of get into if you want, we'll save that for when Jordan comes back. But the bigger teams flew into their spots, like Nike, YBL, whatever it is, on Thursday, practiced, then boom, so they get that day's rest. But local stuff like Spooky Nook and Ohio, stuff like that.
You're driving the same day, and
your legs are cramped. Yeah, so this is more of a call to action to like educate / be aware. You need a competitive advantage in this environment, and that's something. That's a controllable.
That's a free one.
That's a controllable one.
That's a free one.
You can control that. Like, yeah, like if you go to McDonald's, it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have it. If there's one fast food restaurant, there's probably a bunch of them. Try to choose the best one, as best you can.
Yeah. Like, obviously it's convenience, there's certain things, but like, even if you are eating fast food, like eating fast food and then getting a bad stretch or not warming up properly,
or
like
not
that's double
hydrating.
Negative.
Yeah, if you're drinking soda with the McDonald's and you have a game instead of just water or Gatorade, like, you're not helping yourself.
You're not.
You set up yourself for failure.
And since we was kind of on the topic of AAU and like playing a bunch of games and like the process taking care of your body, we've seen some guys that have, come through the AAU circuit and like top names, Tahad, Boogie Flan, and they were in the draft process, the draft combine and stuff like that. Tahad stayed in, but Boogie has now withdrawn, and he's in the portal. What was your overall thoughts of like the combine and just like seeing certain measurables and stuff like that? Like I know Ace has basically been listed at 6'10" for like the whole year, and then they measured him and he's like 6'7".
Yeah, without shoes.
Yeah, and then like John I. Broom's standing vert was lower than a D tackle in the NFL combine,
who was like 400 pounds.
Right. So just tell me.
I'm not gonna lie,
thoughts.
that's a little crazy.
Yo, it's insane. I can't even believe that.
I mean,
I watched the video too. Like,
but
it looks bad.
If you watch him play,
no, you wouldn't even.
You wouldn't think.
No.
But again, so all right. So let's talk about testing, right?
Yeah.
I think testing it's just been. It's like a age-old initiation that you have to go through it. Like on the basketball side, I don't think the basketball measurables are as relevant. Like the lane drill, like okay, cool. Like you can sprint, slide, backpedal, slide.
So you think it's archaic?
I think it could be updated. I think there could be different time drills. Like again, like we talked about when Kevin Durant got drafted, he could barely bench press, but he's one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like why is that immeasurable then? Like you didn't need that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Or like I like this obviously the 3/4 sprint, that's cool. Obviously vertical is important. I think vertical jump is important. I think the 3/4 sprint's important. I think obviously the body composition is very important, right? Like arms, the standing reach, wingspan, like all the height without shoes is irrelevant, I guess, though. Like, why is that a thing? Because you're going to be playing basketball with shoes on. Like, again, I tell people I'm 6 feet with shoes. They're like, and then I'm really 5'10" and 3/4 without shoes. But you're not going to be around me without me wearing shoes. So why would I say I'm 6'3",
in case anyone was wondering. 6'5" with Tim's on, just in case you were wondering. All right? I just put that out there.
Yo. But what I'm saying is it's more the fact, like, I think testing could be updated. Okay. Like, I think body fat composition, all that stuff. Stuff's important. But the testing wise, like the shooting drills, they're like so basic, but it's crazy. Like Walter Clayton.
Yep.
21 to 25 from standstill threes, 5 spots. If you're not shooting that, that's a high major. He started off as a no-star, went to Iona, killed it, went to Florida, right? And this is just a shout out to kids, like if you're not shooting 20 out of 25 out of 5 spots, like you're not an elite shooter. Like that's just what it is. Like, and then guys are doing a star drill. What's his name? Trey. Well, I'm blanking on names. From Trey Johnson.
Yep.
Dude couldn't miss. Like players don't realize, younger players don't realize how important shooting is, especially when it comes to the combine and how NBA is played today. Like you need to shoot. Yeah. So let's go back to Tahad and Boogie, right? Like I didn't get to watch mainly the things. Like I just saw highlights of Tahad and them playing. Like I usually get the chance to watch it, but Had is like somebody hit me up about Had. He was like, "Yo, our boy's doing good." I'm like, I'm not as close with Had, but like he actually coached Had when he was like in elementary school and middle school, and I'm like, yeah, man, like Tahad is like he's a baller.
Oops.
He
roll the ball out.
He's a pro. Like you see kids call each other pros. And you like to see that. It's a little bit of confidence, but also there has to be a realization that there's levels to it. Yeah, but he was always one that stepped up to it. So watching him go out there and do what he did, he's been proving people wrong the whole year.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what to expect at Auburn for him. Like because of his style, he's a scoring point guard. That's what I've known him as.
Right.
But he's shown that he could also facilitate. He could come off the bench as a rookie next year and make a big impact.
Yeah.
That could be his role.
And for someone like that who practically low-key is on like no draft boards,
Yeah, coming in,
and he's killing all the guys that's
ahead of him.
That's ahead of him. So like
that's added motivation for him, and you don't want to do that to Tahad. Tahad's the type of kid that like,
yeah, don't put that extra battery in his back. Yeah,
what? Yeah, you got sleeping on me after I just went on a Final Four run with Auburn
in the SEC,
in the SEC with. Coming off the bench, being one of the most efficient players in the country.
With the runner-up of Player of the Year on my team.
John Ibru. What are we talking? Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I also like it in another aspect as far as Boogie. He went through the measurables. He did what's it called, and then he gets to go back. But he has to transfer. Right. Now, do you think that that's something that should stay, or do you think that's something that's
no, that needs to stay.
That needs to stay. So, like, if
when
you
they
go,
added
you love that. Okay.
When they added that, I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, like, wasn't good enough to get that opportunity to do that, but like, but no, but it's a fair thing. It's not fair. It's like, all right, my goal and my dream at the time is, playing the NBA. Why can't I go test the waters and then come back? Yeah. Right? Yeah, that may put your coach in a weird spot, but this was before, obviously, this past 2 years where it's changed a little bit. But
right.
Why can't I do that? Because if I do that and I test well, then yeah, I'm going to go. But now on your resume as a coach, I've developed this. So now I can get more, so I'm glad they did do that. Now with the transfer portal, it's just pro basketball at this point.
So do you see Boogie Do you see Boogie going to another team like Arkansas with a lot of top talent, or what's it called? Or do you see him going almost like the Fears route? And I don't want to say by himself. Obviously, basketball is a 5-on-5 sport, but as far as the big star name, Fears was the guy over there, Oklahoma.
There was a rumor that Florida was in New York 2 weeks ago to see him. I don't know how true it was, but obviously they have the financial backing now to get somebody like that. Obviously, They just signed Xavier Lee, but Boogie running the 1, Xavier Lee at the 2 for the reigning champs. It's not a bad backcourt to build off of, but I don't think he goes back. No shot.
No, not to Arkansas, but just to a team.
Oh, to a team built like that? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I honestly don't.
Or
think
does
so.
He just go like?
I think he finds a team that he can, like Elliott.
Yeah.
Where he can be the guy and play his game, and make a winning impact. Because Boogie, that's what Boogie does.
Yeah.
Like I kept up with him. Shout out to Mike Smith. I know he worked him out last 3 years or so. He's a hardworking kid. Shout out his pops. Like, I've talked to his pops a couple times through DMs on IG. Like, good people, like real good people, and he surrounds himself with good people. He's a talent, right? So he wants to be able to impact winning, And I think whatever team he does find, he's gonna do that. It's hard because it's almost June now.
Yeah,
we're halfway through May, and now like there's still a bunch of people in the portal still. But teams are basically, a lot of these teams are filled out.
Finish, yeah.
But when you have a talent like Boogie, you might
make that room.
Hey, I got 4-star coming in.
It's not over a little bit.
That's great. But see, this is where we talked about the transfer portal being a weird spot.
Yeah.
There might have to be, I don't know. Where would you see him going? A different team in the SEC, or do a Big 12 move like Elliott went from ACC to Big 12?
I mean, everyone was saying the St. John's thing because like him and Ian played when they was young, but like
they have too much.
Yeah, Josan signed over there, so like that wouldn't be the route. But honestly, I feel like he's just gonna go to a place where he could just get busy. Like, I'm not saying he's the only guy, but like like he's the main guard. Yeah, so I think that'll be the route that he takes, because he can go.
Player. Yeah, he's not a selfish player either. It's not like
him at my 1. I'm not worried. Like, he could just go and let him do what he needs to do. So I'm excited to see where he lands. But I do have a question for you. It's like, how do you know when is the right time to go? Right. So someone like Tahad had a really good season, but wasn't on any boards. Decided to go, knowing that once he goes, he'll have to transfer. Like, what point am I as a player, or me as a mom, me as a dad, saying like, okay, like I think this is the best decision for us? Because that's that's a bit of a gamble. Tahad is all of but 6 foot without shoes, right? That's the measurables, without shoes, right? And he wasn't on any boards, even though he had a really good year. And he showed he probably had one game where it was like, okay, we see it. But other than that, he had a really good campaign.
Yeah.
But still was on no boards. But you have somebody like Boogie who was on boards all year, got there, did the things, and was like, I think I want to go back. When is that right time to make that decision? When is that point where I say, okay, like I'm betting on myself, or I know I could go?
It's again, this is why it's so important when I talk about like just Boogie with the people in the circle. Right. Having the right people in your corner is very important at this stage. Mm-hmm. Just because not everybody knows everything, and again, I don't even know everything. That's a great question. It's got to be it's a combination, mm-hmm. right? You got to bet on yourself. You got to believe that your agent and college coach. I think college coaches are allowed to talk to NBA personnel. It's like, can your college coach get a good feel? Can your agent get some feelers? Like, hey, like we like you a lot, mm-hmm. right? I think that it's a combination of that. Right, and just I think you need feedback, just like anything. Okay. Like just so like if I'm recruiting a kid or if we're going on a job interview, right? It's all about getting educated information about either a person or the situation, right? If the job is trying to hire you, they're telling you what they need to make the business go, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like obviously the NBA is a business. Is there a team that sees value in me and what I can provide, and is there enough people seeing me, right? And my issue with, it's not an issue, it's just I really want to know what qualifies a person to be an NBA scout. That's something like, honestly, if I don't know who listens to this, but like if we can get an NBA scout, I would love to we would love to bring somebody on. Mm-hmm. Just to pick their brain, like, what did you do to become a scout? What qualifies you to be a person? Like, I am that guy when I see talent. I know talent just off of their playing. But then it's also like,
what are they looking at too?
Exactly.
Like, and what are the determining factors? Like, for me, like, I'm not no scout, but
you could tell from
I look at certain things in a certain way. Like for me, if I were to scout, and let's say I had to scout a college kid, right? My biggest thing I would do, I'd go to their worst game of the season, like opponent-wise. I'd go to their best game of the season, and then I would go to 2 middle-of-the-pack things. Those are four things I'd do. For the worst game, I want to see how he acts when the outcome is almost guaranteed, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you act? Are you in the corner pouting when you're not getting the ball because like it's a blowout and you want 30 like everybody else, or are you celebrating your teammates, right? But I want to go to the hard game too, because like, okay, the lights are on. How do you feel? Like how is it? What's it called? And then I also want to see you on your level. Like how are you performing against your peers? So those 3 types of games are the games I would go watch. And then honestly, I'm aside from the game, right? Because they've been telling me if you're a certain player, they've been telling me about you since you were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I already know your tendencies. I probably already know how you play. I want to see how you talk to coach. I want to see how you talk to your teammates. But no, even in the game, I want to see how you can relay information. I want to see like certain things. Like we talked about it that one time when Jordan was on about COOP and how when you close your eyes, all the intangibles don't sound like a number 1 pick. But like one thing about COOP that I mentioned is that he's a showman. He loves the moment. And that's something that you have to see. Like it's not really something that can be measured or like quantified, but he's a showman. Yeah. Like he wants to put on a show. And that's something that's you have to have a level of confidence, and you have to have a level of dedication, because you know that you've worked hard enough in order to do this. Like you're not just out there putting up whatever. Like like, oh no, I can get this done. Like I can do this. Like it's just something that you have in you, and that's something that wouldn't show up if I'm just watching certain highlights or certain things. Like you have to see it in person. Yeah, so and that's me. If I were a scout, like if I were looking at the game.
Yeah, and I think again, it's just like, all right. So I'm referring to just us in general. I think we are solid talent evaluators.
I think so.
Here are the two qualifications, just so everybody can listen. You see everybody through a lens.
Yep.
Sorry. But you've seen so much different talent. You're able to see what makes players go, what these players do that's so effective, from movements to movement without the ball, to fluidity with the ball, their jump shot form, their aggression on defense. Like, you've seen so much. Now you have a sample size. All right, this is what the elite do. This is what middle of the pack. This is what low. That's how you're able, and you've done it so much. It's just now you see, oh, that kid can kind of go.
Yeah.
Right. Me, I'm more hands-on. I've developed kids from 5 years old all the way through the pros. Right. So now I can see a kid and be like, yo, like, just I can tell off of highlights, are like, all right, this kid's all right. Look at the competition, right? You can kind of gauge it. But then again, I'm looking at the same thing you see through the lens, which is like movements with the ball, fluid, takeoffs, defensive slides, running mechanics. Like, that's what I'm asking, if these players are if this is what the scouts are looking at. Yeah. Or are they just going off a hype? Is it the lazy route? Like, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just don't know what they're looking at, because regardless, even with Boogie getting hurt, he's still a first-round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless he wanted to go back because he wanted one. Either he didn't want to be that low first round because he'd make more in college, which makes sense in my opinion, and he wanted to be a guaranteed lottery pick, which I respect. Tahad might be creeping into that lottery pick now.
I feel like it makes no sense to watch it, to see the numbers, to see the what's it called, and still be like, I don't know if we could draft him. Like, that to me makes no sense. Like, you're seeing the product, you've heard about the product. Like, I don't know what else you need in order to know that he's that player that they're saying.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the draft order so that we can kind of see. This is the lottery. Okay, so the lottery is Dallas, San Antonio, Philly, we talked about. Then you have Charlotte, Jazz, Wizards, Pelicans, Nets, Toronto, Rockets, Portland, Chicago, Atlanta, and then Spurs get another one. Spurs, yo, I'm not gonna lie.
No, they don't deserve it.
I'm not. I'm not saying they. No. I'm not saying him. I'm just saying in general. Like,
no. You're talking about Spurs and have a good position to make. Nah, like, bro.
But again,
Aaron Fox and Wemby.
You're telling me.
I see
Chicago can't use him.
I see at least 3 teams that could probably draft him.
Who are the 3?
Pelicans.
I agree.
I wouldn't want him in Washington, but like, depending on what Washington does in their offseason, he could go to Washington.
Toronto.
But
I think Chicago could use him.
Yeah.
They don't have who's their scoring guard? What's his name? Kobe White.
Yeah, he probably couldn't play with Kobe, honestly. He probably couldn't play with Kobe.
Back up to Trey on the Hawks.
Just Trey about to be out of there.
That's what I'm saying. If they package him and deal him,
Trey about to be out of there. But yeah, it's just, it's weird seeing players that have progressed all throughout the year now at that point where they have to go to the NBA or go back to school. It's like these decisions that are being made obviously are for the player and what's best, but I don't know. You are right. I'm like, what are people looking at? I would love to know. Like, what do they see that we don't see? Like, is there something else that we're not seeing, or is it?
Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, what?
Walter Clayton's going back? He withdrew?
Did he? See?
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm on ChatGPT. I just wanted to. It's just the fastest way to like Google something about these withdrawals. I just want to see who else.
He come on, man. He doing that AI shit, man.
And we didn't talk about our boy Isaiah Evans.
He
decided to go back to Duke. I think gonna be the.
I think that was the best decision.
Yeah, I agree too.
I think that was the best decision for him. Ian, I was actually surprised that he he didn't decide to go to the league. I thought that was like a sure lock, but he decided to transfer. He's at St. John's. You know what I mean? Go Johnnies. You know the vibe. I'm in Carnesecca. All next what? Well, I know Patino doesn't like playing at Carnesecca, but when they are at Carnesecca,
MSG about to be packed.
MSG is gonna be super lit.
It's gonna be packed because he did a great job.
He revamped that entire team.
Like he did from his. This is just going to be his third year.
I think so.
So going into his first year, he didn't have much.
Nah.
This past year, he made something happen.
He was quoted as saying, "I got the wrong guys." That first year.
Yeah, and then this year,
Big East
It's
almost
now he took another step up.
This team looks good. Like on paper, the team looks really good. There's some guys that they grabbed up.
Team at least.
There's some guys that they grabbed up. I think the team is complete. They got the wing scoring. They got a lob threat and Dylan Mitchell. Like this could be the one. This could be the one. This could be the one.
But what else?
I don't know.
Are we good for today?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is more of a shorter.
Yeah,
shorter episode, but yeah, no.
Get in the.
I mean, if you guys just throw this out there, it's the off season for me. I'm done at South Kent for the school year, so I'm available to train. If you need help creating a plan, that's what I actually kind of want to talk about real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, let's just throw that in there.
Yeah.
With that, the season's over. It's even the NBA, like it's the off season for almost all the guys. So like obviously they're taking time off, but now it's like this is where they start developing their games, or whether it's your body or whatever. Just off of what you talked about with yourself, like what did you see and what did you do? And then I'm gonna chime in, but what did you do to help elevate your game by yourself before this whole social media thing? What did you do?
Well, it's gonna sound crazy, but like I always had like older people around me. Like I never actually really played with my peers that often. Like I always played up. So getting that experience of like figuring it out and having to create new ways to be effective was always a thing for me. Like whether it was going to the beach to go play or playing in like a run somewhere. I know those are far and few between now, but yeah, just being creative. Like even now, like honestly, like I still go to a gym and shoot in the morning, and honestly, I just freelance the entire workout. Like top of the key, 3 seconds left, screen, snake it, and I have to get to the outside. The big came at me, so I'm left hand off the top of the glass. Like just don't stop your creativity. Don't stop your brain from firing. Like create scenarios in your head. Something that I didn't do, but I wish I did, was like write things down, like goals and stuff like that. Like when I was younger, I was always, I wouldn't say short, but I wasn't the tallest kid. So like for me, I always like dunking was like super like cool to me. That was a fad. So it was like,
it's not a fad. It still goes on today.
Well. I'm just saying, like for me, it wasn't like me realizing now though, it was a fad.
No, it's not fad.
Yeah, it is though, because it's like, okay, I could dunk, like whatever, like you know what I mean. Like that sounds crazy, but it's like okay, whatever. So I was always practicing that, doing that after but I just even being creative and like pretending, like I'm gonna get up there, dunk, split the lane and dunk, whatever. Like I don't know, but. Playing, you can't really simulate playing, bro. Just go play. Like that's really my only thing. But like I said, if I could have done something more, I would say writing my goals down, like make varsity, gain 10 pounds of muscle, get faster, whatever. Just even it can be little stuff like make all CCC. Write your goals down. That way it becomes tangible and you're able to actually like formulate a plan and like look at something and reach out to people, bro. Like if you don't know what you're doing, like just reach out to somebody. Like Steve will hit me sometimes and be like, hey, like what's the when I'm doing this, is that something? Or like I'll tell Steve in a workout, I'll be like, bro, cut that out. Like they got that. Like do this, do that. Like you can work off of each other. Like it's okay to what's it called? But I do think you need to find that space within yourself to be self-sufficient, but not solo. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm relaying my message,
it makes,
but like be able to be on your own, but don't not ask for help.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. And again, like I just wanted to. Since it's the off season, I did want to bring this up. This was something I forgot to write down, but to his point, right? Playing is so important, right? A lot of you guys play organized AAU, where you're playing you're playing to win in a game. I mean, I don't know how to explain that part, but like you're playing under a coach that wants to win the game. Like, yeah, you want to win the game too, but it almost limits you on what you can do.
Yeah.
When you play pickup, you have a little more freedom to do things. Now, guys may yell at you, girls may yell at you, but at the end of the day, you're working on your game and trying to do things that you wouldn't be able to do normally in a game. And then that gives you the confidence, thus do it in front of a coach and at it where it becomes more frequent. 2, he was talking about creativity, being able to work out by yourself and be able to create scenarios. Not enough players have that. You guys are all robotic and you know, again, maybe I'm part of the problem with the drills, but my drills are more concept based and movement based, where I just try to show you how to move. And then in my training stuff, you've seen it, right? Mm-hmm. It's more about like, hey, I just want you to do this move. Now this is the situation. Here are your options. Now mixing all three. Just use your imagine. Basically, I try to not control their imagination, but give them the imagination to kind of see like, all right, this is what's happening. Now you create what you want to do. Go drive and finish off 2. Go drive, step back, floater, or fade away. Like I try to do that. And then the last thing that I want to touch on with him before I get into what you guys should really be doing is the goal writing. Like you guys need to have something tangible so you can see it, and then something physical, and so you could see it, you could check it, cross it off, or like, this is my goals. All right, this is what I'm going to do this week, right? Just a quick blueprint. I'll be quick. You know, whatever you need to do, I would say find 3 things you need to really focus on in terms of improvement. Your superpower you need to always work on, whether it's shooting, driving, your athleticism. But this period right now, after this live period this weekend, most players don't have another live period until June, which is normally with your high school team, but really with your AAU teams is not until mid-July. So that's honestly a good chunk of time to really be like, all right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I am going to a performance trainer, or I'm going to buy Jess's program or GBG Hoops program, and I'm going to follow this for the next month and a half. That's 1. 2, to see more results, I need a nutrition plan. Shout out to the sports nutritionist, Tim, that I created a partnership with. If you are interested in his stuff, he works with the UConn basketball program. He has a side business where he creates plans or helps you create things, a list of things that you need to follow. If you want that code, just swipe up, leave a comment. Hey, I need that. I'll give you the know that code that we have. You get 20% off his program, or a consultation call, which is very important. Then you follow that program to see either he does stuff to help you put on weight, either lose weight, maintain, eat healthier, recovery, foods and supplements you need to help recover that are, pretty common. Then obviously the last part is finding a balance between skills and playing. Whether you see a trainer, cool, see him or her once or twice a week, but then you need to play.
Yeah, and as he was talking, I was thinking of something too. Just when you're writing your goals down, like be very specific. Like don't just say like, oh, I'll work on my left hand, like, you know what I mean? Because like that doesn't really give you a good gauge. Like, but if I say, yeah, I want to work on my left hand when I'm escaping on the left side, or like when I'm fading away, I need to work on protecting my left hand in order to get to the cup. Like be very specific, because that'll be the difference between just like working out for nothing and then just like actually getting a good run in. So like really do that. And And not only that, if you're looking for some good run, some good bump, know that runs is coming back. You know what I mean? You got to be like that. Invite only, $5. You know what I mean? Pull up. I heard Tua Ralph going to be there. I don't know. I heard Shake Hoop's going to be playing. I heard that. I heard that. I don't know. And he said he wants smoke with any cameraman that really think they like that. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Hey man, we might do a creators run, but no. To his point though, Drew Hanlon, who I'm part of, I'm Pure Sweat certified or licensed. I did and he's got a new book out and everything that it talks about in the book, but it's called Stop Bullshitting Yourself if you guys are interested. But I went to a seminar a long time ago, like 4 years ago, and the way he told us to how to break certain things down, this was more specific to our business, but you can also apply it to your game, right? So like we said, let's use it as an example. Let's make a pyramid, right? There's 3 tiers. So the top tier is left hand. We want to work on our left hand. Then there's 3 tiers down here, right? There's 1, 2, 3 specific to your left hand. Mm-hmm. So, right, let's say, like you said, finishing left hand. Let's say driving to your pull-up with your left hand. Using your left hand under pressure. Like, those are 3 specific things. Now, then there's the final tier where you write 3 more things. What are you going to do to accomplish this? What 3 things here we're going to lead you to be better for the one above, which then ultimately goes under your left hand, right? So that's how detailed you can break it down to be, but it takes a special somebody to be able to write it down, then execute. All this stuff doesn't mean anything if you can't go out and execute and do it, especially during the summertime where you got, I want to go out with my friends, or I want to play Fortnite, I want to play 2K, or I want to, just do nothing. Like, this is where people separate themselves. And again, if you do half the things we just told you to do, you're going to be ahead of maybe 50% of your peers, maybe more than that. Because some guys and girls are just naturally talented. They don't put in as much work, but then there's others that do put in the work.
Yeah.
What can you do to give yourself a competitive advantage over your peers to be the most successful basketball player you can be? That's what we'll leave you with. We want you to think about that. Hit us up. Hit Ralph up. Ralph's been around and Ralph's seen it. Ralph's seen us in the gym with pros, elite high school, middle school kids, and seen everything. If you need to ask him, DM me, DM the Basketballists. We're here as an outlet. We want to connect the community. We want to help the community get better and do things like that.
Yeah, and if you want to be a guest, you want to come on, DM us, leave a comment down below. We have some interest for some overseas guys, some
JR. We gotta get JR
agents.
Jonas.
So we definitely have some more episodes coming for you guys. So
yeah,
keep showing love, and we're gonna keep giving game.
Yep, like, subscribe, please leave a comment. That helps us get out there, and then obviously give us a follow on socials, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah,
peace.
Damn, I didn't say thank you to your parents. Tell your parents thank you. You mean?
Hey, you said peace.
They can hear. I'm still rolling. Yeah, they can hear. But yeah, say thank you to your parents.
Say thank you to your parents.